Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. It is 2022, and today we are talking about manifesting in this new year in a different and special way. And we're also going to talk about some broad global predictions. But first, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. Well, it's good to be back.
It is.
We've been gone a long time.
It felt like a really long time.
Yes, it felt like months, maybe years. I think it was only 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah, that's it.
And so much has happened. So many things have happened.
It's true.
Like, I can't even count how many things have happened in those 2 weeks. So, I wanted to organize it for this first segment of the podcast, just to update everyone, because I know everyone cares, or maybe not. So I pulled up my yellow, and I made a list.
Okay.
Of all the things that happened from the last podcast episode to today.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, I'm not true yellow, so they're not organized by date.
Okay.
They're just random times.
They're
that
like
these things
as
happen.
you thought of them.
They were as I thought of them.
Okay, got
But they
it.
are numbered.
Okay.
1 through 9. Okay.
Okay.
All right, the first one, let's get this one out of the way. You were the winner of the Christmas exchange.
I broke the streak. You were 2 years in a row the winner, and I finally took it. It was like something on the poll, which I put up on at Know Your Aura Pod. Like, I think it was like 75 to 25 or something.
Yeah. The kids both gave you the win.
I'm going to say something, though. I love the gift that you gave me. I wear it every day. You gave me slippers.
I gave you slippers and some, like, foot cream or something.
Foot cream.
Yeah. And, I was thinking, here, okay, let me just explain this to the audience for a second. So it was 15 minutes in the Walgreens.
Yes.
And it was raining out. It was windy. I was very nervous going into it. And an old lady blocked my path going in. So it was very difficult.
It was.
If anyone did play this, because I did get a lot of DMs saying that we were going to play this, like me and my boyfriend are going to play it, me and my husband, whatever. Please send us some of these stories.
Right.
Like how you played the game.
And remember, this is our Christmas thing we do every year. We do some sort of challenge. This year it was 15 minutes in a Walgreens, timed, $25 limit. You had to try to get the other person a gift that they'd actually enjoy.
Right. And, the slippers for me and the cream was like indigo. That spoke indigo to me.
Yeah, I'm easy to shop for, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, although I lost because the kids said I lost, the poll said I lost.
You have to be a good...
My parents said it was a tie. My parents did say it was a tie.
Scott. Well, I got you pens and a crossword puzzle and a Starbucks coffee tumbler with coffee.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. You love coffee, and
Right.
you don't have a travel coffee tumbler. You're always bringing the ceramic mug in the car, and the handle doesn't fit in the cup holder. It's a whole thing. So I got you that, and you love pens. You steal them. Anywhere you go, you steal pens. It's just what you do. We've accepted this about you. And, crossword puzzles. Who doesn't love that?
All right. So you're the winner.
Yes.
I concede right here and now.
Oh, thank you.
Finally,
it's official.
we did a little
It was
bit
official.
of, I was going to get the lawyers involved, but,
Recall.
Claim there was like, maybe start a riot over it or whatever. But all right. No, I'll just say I lost. Okay. I'll shake your hand. I lost.
All right. Thank you.
All
we
right.
have to have that smooth transition into the following year.
Okay. So again, a lot happened. So many things happened. My number 2 thing on the list, we watched the season 2 of The Witcher.
We just binged it.
We binged it.
Binged it.
Great show.
Yeah, you're going to say so?
I'm going on the record. Witcher is a good show.
Wow.
Nerdy,
how did that
nerdy.
happen?
You know what it is? Like, they make up a dialogue.
They do. It's made up words.
Yeah, they're all made up words, all made up monsters, all made up terms. But you know what? I just and I didn't understand half of it. I understand like maybe 12%.
It's actually not that hard to understand.
I didn't whatever.
No, it's weird. Like the political stuff.
Yeah,
is
I didn't
weird.
understand this kingdom and that kingdom. And
yeah, that's true.
This owl turns into a person. And
yeah,
all
we don't
this,
understand the
all
owl.
this nonsense.
Yeah,
but I like it. I like it. I like the guy. The Witcher's red blue.
Geralt.
Geralt is red blue. If you watch The Witcher, he's definitely a red blue. And that's why I like it.
You said he's talkative this season, and it's
true.
Yeah,
that's one thing. He should talk less.
He's the talkative Witcher in season 2.
The bard annoys me a little bit.
Okay, too
but
much.
let's move on.
Okay.
All right. Again, huge. A lot happened in these 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We went to LA in a 28-hour period.
Oh my God.
We went to LA. We flew
Was it
in.
really 28 hours? I think
so.
you were right.
Yeah. We flew in we left at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we were back by 6 o'clock the next day.
Last minute, Spotify was like, "Hey." We're having a party. Want to be there for the audio aura thing? You want to be there? And I'm like, yeah, I want to be there. And they took us there, and they treated us lovely. But because of the kids, now that's our own fault because we have children. We're like, we have to do this as quick as possible. They would have let us stay a couple days, but because...
Sure.
But it was a crazy, crazy day.
Crazy time. It was really cool. They had all these Aura booths up, audio Aura booths, so people could walk into them. They had they featured the podcast on a huge stage. Fantastic. Great time.
Very cool. Very surreal.
Yeah, really surreal. All right, again, a lot happening.
You felt like the oldest person there, though.
I was the oldest person there by like at least 10 years.
I was old, too, there.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, we were both old.
Yeah.
Like, everyone we were working with, like, all the PR people are, like, 22.
It's like, oh, my gosh. Well, I mean, they had, like, it was all, like, TikTokers that were...
I feel that age in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Or if I don't, then I just feel motherly to people. Yeah. So it's fine. But you were, like, walking around. They had the best food, you guys. They had, like, amazing food, and it was everywhere. And
merch and everything.
It was a crazy party. And maybe it's just because I'm not from LA. Maybe these things, somebody told me these happen all the day. Somebody told me, do you watch The Hills? Like, this stuff happens all the time. I'm like, I don't watch The Hills. And I didn't know that. But anyways, there was food everywhere. And you got to it immediately. Like, and you were just eating the whole time and mumbling that you were the oldest person there.
Yes. And the great part about it was there was a lot of TikTokers there.
There were.
And, like, they all think they're fantastic, whatever.
They do.
And it's great for me because I don't know who the heck they are. And it's like, they just look like,
No, they're hyper children.
Yeah, they're just hyper children.
Yes, they're very hyper children.
Right. All right. Next one. Again, huge week. Okay. We now have 2 hamsters, Holly and Jolly.
God. You got to tell how you did it.
Okay, so... I've noticed something when I do a gift surprise. This was a Christmas gift for the kids. I have a pattern to my gift surprises. So what we did was we gave them all their gifts. And then I said, oh, wait, we forgot one.
Like, we were all done with Christmas.
Right, all done with Christmas.
Everyone, the kids are like, thank you.
Yeah, it was
They're
great.
so sweet. They loved it. And then you say.
And then I say, wait, I forgot one more gift. Okay, but this is my pattern. That is the fake out again. So it's a double fake out.
You did a double fake out.
So then I brought down this other gift, and they're like, oh, what is it? It was like a box of chocolate.
Yeah. And
Abby got like an egg that hatches, and the thing grows inside. The monster grows or whatever, and then the Witcher could kill it. But so then they're like, oh, yeah, and they thought that was funny.
They did.
And then I'm like, wait a second. Is there one more? And then, of course, we had these hamsters. We brought down the hamsters.
Yeah.
And we had them to keep them in the closet for like
you guys,
a week.
We
alive.
Bought the hamsters 3 days. Well, I think it was like 3 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
And we're like, what do we do? So we just locked them in the office. And then you and I would just go in and play with them and make sure they were okay. And then I just stuck a little wrapping paper on them in the morning. And oh my God, they cried. The kids actually cried.
Yeah.
Joy tears. It was awesome. And I thought about filming it, but then I was like, nah, I'm just going to keep it in my head. But it was really special. I'll never forget that. And now you have 2 hamsters.
Now we have 2 hamsters, Holly and Jolly.
Holly and Jolly.
All right. Next, again, huge 2 weeks. I can't stress that enough. I bit the bullet and bought HBO Max.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Just because they were playing The Matrix new movie, because I like The Matrix. I don't know what it's called, Matrix 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I got it for that. The worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was bad.
Horrible.
I just walked away.
Yeah, I fast-forwarded through half of it. I don't understand how they did this. Okay. Keanu Reeves, just Red Rand coming here. Okay, if you watch The Matrix, Mr. Smith's the bad guy. He's like it was an iconic role.
Yeah.
They replaced him with some jokester. Yeah. How do you do that?
I don't know.
They put Doogie Howser in the movie.
He was good.
How do you do that?
I know.
Morpheus, who was like the lead role for like Neo's, and if anyone hasn't watched this, they don't know what I'm talking about here, but they took Lawrence Fishburne and they replaced him with someone else.
I know.
But they kept the statues of Lawrence Fishburne in the movie. It's really bad. I don't think he was. Really bad.
I don't know. I think that, I don't know.
No, I'm not even going
to get into it.
Don't even try to justify it.
Okay. I'm not.
So we now have HBO Max. Now I want to get rid of it.
But I caught up on And Just Like That.
Oh, so
I binged it, and you won't watch it with me.
No, I'm not watching that.
Oh my God, people would want to hear the Aura take on that.
The only thing I do is sometimes I'll walk by the room and I hear some interesting noises.
You always you only walk by when it's like those types of moments, and then you walk in, tell me that I'm some sort of deviant, and walk out. I'm like, you just happen to come in at that moment.
All right. Big 2 weeks. Your Angel Numbers book came out.
Yeah.
It came out, hit the shelves, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. You can buy it.
Crazy.
Please buy it.
Oh
review it.
You're begging.
Okay, sorry. I mean, yeah. Buy it if you want to. So that came out. That was huge. That was good. We had our next one. We had our annual Christmas party back on.
We did.
It was a little bit
Very
smaller
small.
because of COVID and all that.
It was COVID friendly. Maybe un-COVID friendly. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we only had, I think we had 16 people. So
yeah,
I think Dr. Fauci says you
he's
could
only
have
10.
like 7 people, 3 robots, and a couple of pets, whatever. I don't know. But anyway, we might have broke his guidelines.
We might have gone a couple over.
Oh, well.
We're all okay.
Yeah, we're okay. That was fun. I was kind of kept in mind, like that walk away from people. I kind of wanted to keep track of that.
Well, a lot of it was outside because we're in Florida. We can do that.
Yeah, I mean, like conversations. So.
Well, that's what you do anyways.
Yeah,
you fell asleep on people.
Yeah, I fell asleep on one person. I only walked away from 2 conversations. I ate dinner alone.
Yeah,
and I swept someone, to get them out. I swept.
You did have to
their
kick
feet.
people out again.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it was crazy. You had to literally tell them, "Okay, guys, go home now."
Right. Another big thing that happened, this is huge, maybe the biggest one on the list. This surpasses the Spotify in your book by far. Bree now likes shrimp.
Bree likes shrimp.
Now we have 2 red auras battling over shrimp.
Yeah.
You don't like shrimp.
I don't.
Abby
like
doesn't like
seafood.
shrimp. What are we going to do? I mean, I want all the shrimp, and now she's going to want all the shrimp.
Yeah.
This is a huge...
That's between you two.
This is going to be a big thing. So that also happened. And then the last thing that happened that I have down here, and if you want to add some, you can, but now we have to play dominoes daily. Abby discovered the game of... Oh, no, not dominoes.
It's
Uno.
Uno.
Yeah, Uno. And
Santa brought the best gift. You guys, as much money as you spent on Christmas, I didn't spend. Santa spent $5 on an Uno deck, and it has been the hit of the family.
Yeah, it's right up there with the hamsters.
Yeah, the hamsters and then Uno. That's all I needed this Christmas. Nothing else.
Nothing else. We didn't need all the other stuff.
No, I think you covered it, Scott. That was great.
All right. So when we come back, we have some predictions.
Yes.
And now we have an ad from Brooklyn.
All right. For Christmas this year, I sent my parents a wonderful towel set from Brooklyn. And I have to tell you, they called me when it delivered. It delivered at 10 p.m. at night for some reason. They called the house screaming with joy. I do not kid you. They were so excited about the quality, the color, just the idea of having a wonderful matching towel set finally. They were really excited. And the way that it was packaged is just, it's really luxurious and beautiful. So, it's the new year and it's time to get new about things, and maybe you're starting to feel that winter slump. Well, let's hit refresh on your space because, honestly, who's going outside right now with Brooklinen's curated essentials made for cozying up in every corner? It's simple. Start the new year off right. It means starting the new year off rested. Hit reset for 2022 with top-notch sleep thanks to Brooklinen's 5-star bedding. We all have our comfort quirks, and thanks to Brooklinen's Cloud Soft comforter options, you can pick the weight and size that's just right for you. If you're looking for a more comfy comforter, Brooklinen is the place to go. They come in lightweight, all season, and ultra warm to suit every type of sleeper and lifestyle. There's even a weighted comforter option for stress relief. Thank you for that. Rest assured that Brooklinen's fair pricing, their home essentials just look and feel like $1 million. At Brooklinen, comfort goes way beyond the bedroom. Their collection includes everything from robes and towels to super soft loungewear, so the cozy just keeps on coming. There's a reason Brooklinen has over 80,000 5-star reviews and counting. So refresh your rest with the comfort essentials from Brooklinen. Go to brooklinen.com and use our promo code KYA for $20 off your purchase of $100. That's Brooklinen, BROOKLINEN.com, and enter promo code KYA for $20 off your purchase of $100 or more. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. All right. So it's the new year. What's the number one thing people think of? Vision boards. We're not doing that today. We've done that the last 2 years.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So, but still make your vision board if you want to. I'm not doing one this year. I'm not doing a vision board.
Okay.
I did a virtual one in my mind, which is actually more 5D, than the actual pen and paper and the stickers and the magazines.
Yeah.
But we are going to talk about predictions. All right. So I looked up this guy. His name is Nostradamus. He's a famous TikToker. He's 14. He has 9 million followers, and he gained most of those followers by putting peanuts up his nostrils. No, I'm just kidding.
That sounds plausible.
It does, right?
Yeah.
That's how you gain TikTok fame. You put something up your nose.
Right.
No, anyway, all right. Nostradamus was a French astrologer. He was a physician. He was an author. He was born in the 1500s, born in 1503 to they think 1503 to 1566. And he is famous for this collection of 942 poetic quatrains, like little poems or whatever you want to call them. And it was actually published, get this, in the year 1555.
Whoa.
1555.
555, change.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, I kind of wanted to do a little research into it. Every year they come out with his predictions. I think you're going to do the 2022 predictions.
Every year they talk about Nostradamus.
Yes,
yeah.
every single year. I've been hearing this since I was in middle school about this guy Nostradamus. And I wanted to just kind of do a little bit more research into it to see if there's anything to it. So I read through a lot of them. Again, there's 942 of them.
Yeah.
Here's the thing right off the bat when I read them. Most of them are about terror, fear, fire, blood, burning, destruction, thieves, people stealing crowns, people, they're negative. They're
very negative.
They're almost all negative.
Yeah.
There's a few of them that are not.
Yeah.
There's never really any, there could be, I didn't go through all 942 of them, but most of them have to do with your fear, like fear-based.
Well, he might be a product of his time, and also fear sells.
Yeah,
fear sells. True. People listen to that more than they listen to the positive stuff. That's true.
Right.
We're hardwired to it.
Right. Exactly. And I guess you can make, some of them they do kind of like have time frames that go up to, I think they go up to like the 3,000s.
Really?
Yeah. So like, every New Year's we're going to hear this for the next 1,000 years or whatever it is. So I pulled a few to see if there's kind of any validity to them, if we can kind of go through them. All right. So here we go. All right. So the first one says, and some of them are very famous.
Okay.
So this is one of the more famous ones.
This is the famous one. Okay.
From the depths of west of Europe, a young child will be born of poor people. He who by his tongue will seduce a great troop. His fame will increase towards the realm of the east. Beast ferocious with hunger will cross the rivers. The greater part of the battlefield will be against Hister. Into a cage of iron will the great one be drawn when the children of Germany observes nothing.
Whoa.
So that's
like Hitler, right?
Right. So most people think this is the prediction of World War II, the rise of Adolf Hitler.
Specific, like Hitler?
Yeah, Hitler.
Germany?
Germany, right. You got the
iron thing? What's that?
Could be because Hitler used the tanks. You can say that. He had the Blitzkrieg, so the tanks and the planes and you can go with that angle.
Okay.
So again, hey, this is a guy writing in 15.
That's kind of specific.
55.
Yeah.
Fairly specific. If you do a little research, Hister is there is a mountain called Hister.
Okay.
So people aren't sure, I guess skeptics are saying that maybe that's what he was referring to.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going with that one, you would say, okay, maybe he predicted that.
Yeah, that's like way in the future. It's like how many years? Like hundreds of years in the future.
Hundreds of years. Right, but there's no specific time or date on that.
Okay.
It doesn't say like 1941.
Yeah, how do they know his predictions are for 2021 or 2022 or
right?
How do they know?
Well, that's what it is. When you're reading through these, a lot of them are very vague, and you could apply it to any time period. No specific.
Then how do they?
Sometimes it says like in the millennia of the 9th month.
Okay.
Because he was
he's an astrologer.
He was an astrologer, so he used a lot of that. Yeah,
so that's how they kind of pinpoint times.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, so here's another one.
Okay.
Another famous one. Near the gates and within 2 cities, there will be scourges the like of which was never seen. Famine within plague, people put out by steel, crying to the great immortal God for relief. Could you guess what that was on your own?
No. That sounds like a lot of things. It could be like famine and plague and people crying out.
Right. So famine and plague, people put out by steel.
What's that?
Now people think this is the dropping of the 2 bombs, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the 2 atomic bombs that were dropped on Japan at the end of World War II.
Okay.
Near the gates within 2 cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So again, could be.
Yeah, and he gave did he pinpoint around that time at the time he said that?
No, that's the whole prediction. So the quatrains are short. They're very short.
How do they know that would take place in the 40s? You know what I mean?
Right. How do they know that was 1945?
Did he give like an astrological cue to that?
No, that's
period?
it. That's the whole quatrain.
Oh.
I read the whole thing to you.
I mean, that could be like in the future. That could,
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
That one is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. The World War II one was really interesting.
Yeah, because you have the history in there.
Yeah, and just the Germany and kind of like giving locations and stuff.
Yeah, so that one's a little bit more...
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right,
one more here. From the enslaved populace, songs, chants, and demands, while princes and lords are held captive in prisons. These will in the future by headless idiots. He uses the word idiots a lot, so he'd be canceled today.
Okay.
Be received as divine prayers.
What are headless idiots?
This will in the future by headless idiots be received as divine prayers.
What does that mean?
Okay, so this one is the French Revolution. The predicting of the French Revolution. The enslaved people are going to rise up.
Okay.
While princes and lords, they keep them in prison, they captive, and then they chopped off their heads, I'm assuming.
Oh, wasn't I think the Bastille or something? What was that?
Yeah, the storming of the Bastille is the French Revolution.
Is that the prison?
That's the prison.
Okay.
But that's not, the prison was when they captured the royal family.
Oh, they put them in prison?
Like house arrest.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's kind of specific.
Yeah, it's kind of specific. But again, in you're living in the time period of the 1500s.
Yeah.
There was a lot of revolution.
Right.
There was a lot of uprisings. A lot of times royal members would, be killed, get their heads chopped off. Henry VIII was famous for chopping people's heads off.
Right. So that was just kind of like a normal day-to-day.
Yeah. I mean, uprisings were common. It's like every other week there was an uprising.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, could be.
Yeah, how come it's all there though? Like he's stuck in Europe. Does he ever go anywhere else, like South America, or like does he go like anywhere else, any other geographical location? Yeah,
well, I mean, I guess it would be interesting because remember he's writing in the 1500s, and but America hasn't even been discovered. I mean,
it was discovered, but not really settled.
But it's not settled yet. Yeah, it's not settled to the 1600s. So how would he?
Yeah, how are we making like stuff about us now?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like he has ones about like John F. Kennedy being assassinated.
Oh, really?
And Robert Kennedy, that people think is John F. Kennedy or Robert Kennedy. But how could he know that Robert Kennedy was 68? How is he going to know 1968 the United States, which didn't even exist at that time?
Okay.
So I don't know. All right, so you have some for 2022.
All right, so these are the ones that they're saying are 2022 ones from Nostradamus.
Okay.
All right, so first of all, it's some sort of death or disappearance of a political figure, and this is, I guess, the quatrain. The sudden death of the first character, he will be changed, and they will put another in his kingdom. And I guess for some feels like it might mean like the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, or people are thinking maybe it's Queen Elizabeth, or maybe it's even our president. So like people are, kind of point to that and put on their own spin of who it could be.
So again, you could basically put it to
the death of the first character will be. He will be all right. So somebody dies and then they change him. Okay.
So again, it could be anybody.
Yeah.
There's no. Queen Elizabeth will die.
She's like 94 or something. So that's kind of...
All right.
Well, anyways. Then there's another one like global warming. Like the sun, the head will seal the shining sea. The live fish of the Black Sea will almost boil. So I guess he foresaw some sort of solar storm of unparalleled magnitude, the melting of the poles, and a rise in sea level in this way. And they say that he forecasted earthquakes and floods and droughts. And then he talks about famine too. This is another quatrain. So the price of wheat that man has stirred his fellow man to eat in his despair. So they're he foresaw famine and unrest.
Okay.
And like they're saying even cannibalism.
Yeah.
It sounds really scary.
Yeah, well, that's what I started with my opening was in all of these quatrains, you get this famine and drought and hunger and fear and chaos. They're in all of them. So I don't know why they even pick out that
vague.
one.
These are very vague.
Yeah.
Another one's the rise of artificial intelligence, they say he foresaw.
Okay.
So they say this is the quatrain that refers to that. The moon in the full of night over the high mountain, the new sage with a lone brain sees it. By his disciples invited to be immortal, eyes to the south, hands in bosoms, bodies in the fire. Like, okay.
All right.
So, everybody's always scared about the AI developing consciousness.
Yeah.
I read this story that Alexa told some kid like, I guess they were playing some game with Alexa. I read this. They were playing some game with Alexa, and they were like, hey, Alexa, give me a challenge. And I guess Alexa gives you, like, funny challenges or whatever. Like, I don't know, do this or do that, but, like, whatever, just silly, just to play with Alexa. And I guess Alexa told this little kid, like, hey, plug in your phone charger just a little bit and drop a penny in between, like, and told the kid to basically put a penny on the charger that's half in the outlet.
Oh, my God. Well, I'll tell you what I think of Alexa. I threw her out of the house the first day.
No, we did. Your parents said that they were having a conversation about something. Totally. And she gave her opinion about what they were talking about.
Yeah.
And without being asked, she just butted into their conversation.
In that case, it was probably better than their opinion.
They weren't scared. They were more like annoyed that she bothered to talk.
That's so funny.
And gave her opinion that was contrary to their own. I thought that was funny. But I'm like, what? Why is your Alexa talking to you guys without being asked? Okay.
All right. Well, I thought that there's a lot of these that need interpretation. And I thought that I was going to interpret some of them.
Okay.
So here we go. This one, the shaven head, a very bad choice, will become to be made. Burdened, he will not pass the gate. He will speak with such great fury and rage. Into the fire, he will consign the entire sex.
What?
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you make of this?
A shaved head?
A shaved head. So the first thing that came to my mind.
So you're interpreting.
Yeah, I'm going to, you know how people interpret those?
Yeah.
I'm going to interpret
I guess
these.
there's students of Nostradamus, so perhaps that's what you are now.
I am now a
But
student.
you went rogue.
Yes, I went rogue.
Okay.
Now, I thought very long and hard on this.
Okay.
And I think this has to do with the New Jersey housewives. Okay, because the shaven head guy is Joe Gorga.
Okay.
Okay, and very bad choices. He's very outspoken.
Yeah.
He speaks with a lot of fury and rage.
Yeah, that's interesting because he just started stand-up, and people are saying, and he got booed off stage.
Okay,
that actually happened. That's crazy, Scott.
And basically the last line, it will consign the entire sex, is actually saying people like to watch the guys better than the girls on that show.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're funny, the guys on the show.
So I'm going to say that one has to do with Real Housewives of New Jersey.
That actually makes more sense than half the Nostradamus ones.
Yeah.
That other people interpret.
Okay.
So wait, Nostradamus did reality TV. I like this.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay, so now this one too. Okay, I interpreted this one because I'm now the student. When 20 years of the moon's reign have passed, another will take up his reign for 7,000 years. When the exhausted sun takes up his cycle, then my prophecy and threats will be accomplished. Okay, now this one's an obvious one. Obviously, this was Chris Harrison. 20 years, Chris Harrison, the moon, he reigned.
He reigned.
Yeah, 20 seasons of The Bachelor. Now he's gone. Now they're bringing out this old fossil again from like Bachelor season 2 or something who does like the Bake Off chant. He like does everything.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
7,000 years. He's immortal. That guy's immortal.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's going to be doing it, and then we're all exhausted from The Bachelor. The exhausted sun takes up his cycle. That's us. We're the exhausted sun.
Yeah.
Like, stop showing us The Bachelor. We don't want it anymore. Okay. All right.
Wow, that's really good, Scott.
Yeah. Okay, I have another one here.
All right.
Come the millennium, month 12. Okay, so there he's kind of giving like a...
Month 12? So like December?
In the home of the greatest power, the village idiot will come forth to be acclaimed the leader. All right, you guys figure that one out for yourself.
Is that a real one?
Yeah, that's a real one. That could be anybody. I'm sure anybody knows someone we could throw in there.
You could throw,
Yeah, throw it at someone. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, this, unfortunately, I have two more here.
Okay.
This one's about me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. A great stench will come from, but they will not know its origin. They will put it out.
That's so you.
They will put it out all people from distant places. Fire seen in the sky, a foreign nation defeated. So, obviously, this is me. I need to, better hygiene. Yeah.
Did they figure out those yet? Or do they have different interpretations?
I'm sure.
Than you?
I think everyone does.
The best one that you had was your New Jersey housewife one. I feel like that was the most accurate.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And there's another one here.
Okay. Was this a real one?
Yeah.
Okay.
A flame that is twin will deceive in 20 of 22. Of black hat and horse, he will fall for another. So, I think
my God.
I think that's referring to...
Gemini is moving on.
He's moving on. He's going to deceive someone. He was a twin flame of somebody. probably me, I guess.
Yeah.
And, the black hat, the horse. Anyway.
You're special.
Yeah.
In
I can't believe
1555, this was seen.
I can't believe at least 2 quatrains were about me. That's
crazy.
That's crazy, right? But anyway, on a serious note, with predictions and I guess you would call him a psychic. I don't know what you would call him.
I don't know.
But really, I mean, at the end of the day, we've said this many times on the podcast, and I just want to say it one more time here because we're starting a new year.
Yeah.
It comes from within you.
It does.
You don't need to go seek out Nostradamus or, psychics that, charge you thousands of dollars to remove spells and things like that. You can do it yourself, right? It's about you.
Yeah, I think we always try to, especially when we're talking about manifesting coming up and whatnot, there's something called spiritual obsession. It can definitely happen. It's where you really feel like all the control has left you and is in other people or in other sources and whatnot. Anything that you come in contact with should be a tool, should be something that you take what you need and leave what you don't. Because honestly, the most powerful connection to spirit is already inside of you, and you just want things that support that and strengthen that and make you feel in control of that, because you are. So just being careful of it and making sure, like, if it gets something right you're not comfortable with or whatever. What happened was, this is what happened. Over the break, I had like my reading. The very nice woman was telling me that she had paid $5,000 to a local person to remove spells. And the lady was texting and calling and saying, I need more money, I need more money, I need more money. And one of those the woman sitting across from me's questions was, oh, do I need to stay with her? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, no. Like that. And she's like, but she knew things about me, and she knew this, and she knew that, and it's like, just because someone's intuitive doesn't mean they have your best interests at heart.
Yeah.
If you go see a spiritual person, they should have a set fee, okay? And you can look at it as an entertainment or anything like that. That's what they should have, a set fee. If they're asking you for more money and they're saying like, no, you have to do this or you have to do this, and the control's outside of you, and I'm the only one that can make him fall in love with you, or I'm the only one that can take this curse off of you, and no, that's wrong, because you're in charge. So I think, and I told you about it and you were really upset.
Yeah.
And I said, like, listen, I gave her the most honest thing that I could, and I told her straight up, and she wasn't thrilled about it, because she, when you want to hear something so bad, there's somebody who will make you pay a certain amount of money to hear it.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful about that. If you want to hear so-and-so is going to leave, their girlfriend or wife to be with you, and you can't take no for an answer, you'll find somebody that says yes. They'll do it.
Yeah.
And there's people waiting to take your money to give you the answers that you want to hear. And you have to be careful about that.
Yeah, no, and there's nothing that gets me angrier quicker that brings out the red when I hear these stories. I actually heard another story about it over the holiday. Someone gave $500 to another psychic. I mean, just for I don't even know what. And it you don't have to do these things. Before, I'm sure there's a lot of, and it's very trendy now. The last few years has been very trendy, these spiritual leaders, and, with TikTok and other things.
And it's great.
They
it
make
opens
claims.
people up.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But there's a lot of people out there that are phonies, and they're just looking to make a quick buck off it.
Yeah.
And it really brings down the people that are doing the good work.
I know, there's so many people out there doing really good work.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of chokes me up when I talk about it because it makes me so upset.
No, because when we meet them too. We're these wonderful people.
Yeah, you let me know who these people are. All
right.
I'll take care of them.
All right, Red Aura.
Yeah, so I'll write them nasty letters, but.
Okay.
But yeah, again, you don't have to. Please do your research. Even if you're going to get a reading with Mystic Michaela, do your research. Make sure she's the right energy for you.
Yeah.
She could be the right energy for someone, but not the right energy for another person.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely do your research before you do it. Get referrals. Get a lot of referrals.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Word of mouth's good. Don't just give away. Under no circumstance do you ever have to give thousands of dollars for someone to remove curses or spells or remove energy. Yeah. It is something you can do for free, or you can, get maybe even a Reiki or something for a few dollars.
Sometimes people can work with you.
Yeah.
Which is nice. They work with you, and people have different language for things, but I think the point is don't give away your power.
Don't give away your power.
That's a good point.
That's the number one thing that we want you to know from this podcast. All right, we have a couple ads, and then you're going to get into the numbers.
If you dread looking at those credit card statements, trust me, you're not alone. The weight of debt can be terrifying, but Upstart can help you on your path to financial freedom. Upstart is the fast and easy way to pay off your debt with a personal loan, all online. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debts, or funding personal expenses, over 1 million people have used Upstart to get one fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Rather than looking at credit card score alone, Upstart considers other factors like your income, your current employment, and credit history to find you a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate without impacting your credit score in minutes. For loans between $1,000 to $50,000, you can even receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. So find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/KYA. That's upstart.com/KYA. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. Thank you so much. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. That's upstart.com/KYA. What if I told you that you could get important fertility insight without going to the doctor or even leaving home? Modern fertility makes that possible with easy, at-home fertility hormone testing. Modern fertility was created for this. It's the easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick. Mail it in with a prepaid label, and you'll get your personalized results within 10 days. Traditional testing with your doctor can cost over $1,000, but modern fertility gets you the same info at $159, a fraction of the price. And if you go to modernfertility.com/KYA, you can get another $20 off your test. Also, if you have an HSA or FSA, you can put those dollars toward Modern Fertility. You'll get insight into your hormone levels, how many eggs you have, and other important fertility factors. The results go deep into what every hormone means, and you can also talk one-on-one with a fertility nurse to review your results and options for next steps. If you want kids today or maybe one day in the future, or clinically sound info about your body to help you make decisions that are right for you, Modern Fertility is the way to go. So right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/KYA. That means your test will cost $139 instead of the several hundred or even $1,000+ it could cost you at a doctor's office. Get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/KYA. That's modernfertility.com/KYA. Now, let's talk about manifesting in the new year using special angel numbers. Every year, I try to do a spin on manifesting because I like to keep it fresh for myself. Anything I do, and if it seems to work, I'll always pass that along to you all. Another important note about all of this in any episode as we enter this new year, this is about you. Whether you're an old listener or a new one, and anything you do in life, really, you take what you need and you just leave what you don't. I am always trying to evolve and change, and I'll always be honest and share that with you. I'm always trying to learn and grow. I'm always trying to be honest and open and share that with you. And it's okay to change, and it's okay to do things differently, and it's okay to learn something and modify your thoughts and actions and behaviors because of it. And manifesting is one of those things that I've really evolved about as I've been deeper into my own spiritual practice, and I feel like it'll never end, as it shouldn't. But yes, whenever I talk about manifesting, I'm careful to point out that this is not a magical thing. This is a law of the universe. Quite simply, what you put out there, it comes back to you. That's it. It's energy. But, and this is where it gets a little tricky, this does not mean we can manifest perfect lives, because this world isn't perfect and isn't really set up to be. There are so many limitations on all of us because of our 3D ego-driven reality, which I'll talk about, that although anything is possible to manifest in the 5D or the 5th dimension, it's not always so in our 3rd dimensional reality. Let's talk about that real quick. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimension, they're states of consciousness. And living on this earth plane, you can experience all of them back and forth within one another, within a day or a phase of time or a season of life. We're all very different. However, those perceiving life from the 3D will experience life much differently than those perceiving life from the 5D. So what is the 3D, 4D, and 5D, and what do they look like? The 3D is the viewpoint that you're alone in the world. You must struggle to survive. Life's a rat race. Life is cutthroat. There is not enough for everyone to go around. Your thoughts have no power over reality, and you cannot change your life by thinking differently. And fulfillment is found through money and social status. The 4D is kind of a door to the 5D. In here, you begin to see that we're all connected on a higher plane, not just this physical one, and that thoughts can shift reality. And all of a sudden, you may start to care more about health, mental and physical, and you may want to start journaling or begin some sort of meditation practice as your spiritual health becomes important too. You may find yourself more present in nature or other joyful moments where you can experience peace and hope. You notice the link between the world around you and how you feel inside. You really go more inward once you hit the 4D. And while you can experience a sliding scale between the 3D and the 4D, that's common. And usually when you're in the 4D, you're dealing with a lot of people in the 3D who are not in the 4D, and you'll try to help them. You'll try to be like, come with me. Come on. Try it. Look at this. Check this out. Look at that. Once you hit the 5D, something happens. It becomes a little bit more difficult to shift down, to downshift. You can do it, but it's hard. And it feels really gross and weird. Here you understand that we are 100% all connected. That states of consciousness to you, the 5D is reality. Whether other people don't, and you know that they don't perceive it your way or not, you don't care. It's your reality to you. And it's the most important one to you. That there is nothing bad or good. Everything just is. You're very indifferent towards labeling people or things or experiences or anything. You things aren't always great and life happens, but you're not as quick to victimize yourself or be like, this is what happens to me, or this is a bad thing, or this is a good thing, or anything. There is an indifference to things that you used to struggle for. You just don't care anymore about being part of the cool kids or having a certain car pulling up to the party that matches everybody else's car or whatever. The connection to others and the earth itself becomes a lot stronger. You value your alone time more. There is a viewpoint that we're all equal, and there's high value placed on honesty and authenticity, no matter how it makes one feel emotionally or how it hurts the ego. I always say this in readings because when your spirit guides or angels, whatever you want to call them, your higher self, I'll give you other words. Like, I believe that there is a team of high vibrational beings helping us. That is personally what I believe. But I respect that if you can't call it that. So if you want to call it your higher self, or you want to call it God, or like anything you want to call it, you call it that. But when I do a reading, that high vibrational friend force you have around you, they live in a very high dimension, and they will be very honest with you, and they do not care if it hurts your feelings about things, because they don't live in the 3D where hurting someone's feelings is mean. Hurting someone's feelings when you're helping them is actually not mean. It's actually love. I'm sure you've had a friend or a loved one and you had to give them some like, hey, listen, we got to talk. This is what you're doing and it's hurting you and I love you and nobody else is saying it because they're scared of your reaction or to hurt you. But like, I need to help you, so I'm going to say it. That's kind of how they are. Anyways, that's 5D. And when you get to that place, you're like, ooh, I will take that truth. It hurts, but I love it. And you live for it a little bit more. So as you can see, the way that we manifest, it affects us because we're all coming from different places. Someone living in the 3D may want to manifest a new car or a social climb upward, or they'll just make fun of the whole manifesting thing anyways, or they'll think that's what manifesting is. By the way, like the house on the hill or the new car or the rock on your finger or whatever, those are symptoms of other things that you manifested that came true. Okay, like we never like go for you're never really manifesting the ring on your finger. You're manifesting the life that went with it, if that makes sense. But some people misinterpret manifesting as that. And we joke about it, but it's different. So yeah, so someone in the 3D might envision manifesting that way, while someone in the 5D understand that it's kind of more like manifesting an interior state of mind, peace, calm, relationships, kind of a life around you that aligns to who you are authentically, where you don't feel like you have to put on a mask to go talk to people or live your life or feel okay. Like where you don't have to feel like, where you feel like it's like water, things just flow into one another. So the other problem with manifesting is, and the way that I think a lot of people interpret it, is that our earthbound world, as a human, like you're a soul stuck in kind of like this human experience, which is great. You're learning a lot, but it has its limitations. Because the society structured around us is very much based on a 3D plan. Like, so our whole society is very much like ego, which is your human experience. It's part of your brain. It doesn't go with you, that ego. Okay. It's just here now. And you drop it when you go to the other side and you transition on. But that ego and all of our collective egos created this whole society, which is super 3D, which is the whole you struggle to survive and making money is important and be scared all the time and that kind of thing. And, you know, like the things you hear, like, oh, good luck getting married after 40 or something, like all that stuff is just like very 3D stuff where they love to put the limitations on you. So the things that we think we want to and the things others want for us, and even well-intentioned people, like parents or something, they want, I need you to get a good job. I need you not to make mistakes in life. I need you. It's like, okay, no. Like, I know they want these things for us, which is lovely and wonderful. They don't want to see us suffer, but that's like we internalize it and we think we have to manifest things, and then we get stuck manifesting things other people want for us instead of what we actually want or is authentic to us. So all of those false manifesting things that we think we need to manifest for ourselves, it's part of our psyche and it's part of our programming. So shedding what you think you want is something that you also have to work on. And that's like one sentence, but it's a lot. It's a lot, people. And a lot of us right now are like nodding, like, like whatever you think you want, like really investigate it. Really process it, really sit with it, really tear it apart. Be like, what are the parts of this I actually want versus what do I think I want because I'm absorbing that from society or other people. Also, there are forces at play in our 3D world which make it hard to feel like they are set up the same as another person to get what they want. So this just goes back to, the color of your skin, where, your socioeconomic status, gender, your sexual preference, like all these things that, unfortunately that plays a part too. It's like Scott always says to me, my husband Scott always says to me, it's very simplified, but he used to tell the kids this, and he said it on other podcasts when he was teaching. He would always tell the kids, it's like life is like a game of Candyland, and some of us start all the way at Princess Frostine, and some of us are off the board, start completely away from start. It's not fair. It's not. So it's hard to tell people like you can get the same thing somebody else can, because that's not necessarily true, unfortunately, based on the restrictions of our 3D world and how it's set up. So I'm not going to like sugarcoat that. But manifesting is, using all of this can make your life better. And it can also get you to the place where in your consciousness, you can at least feel aligned to yourself. And that is a great thing, because even if things aren't perfect around you, if you can maintain that connection with self and spirit inside, within, you can handle a lot more and you can feel more in tune. So these are all things to keep in mind as you manifest, so you can set up your intentions accordingly. And also, you have to keep it to what you can control. You can't make other people love you, or you can't make the world hold hands and sing Kumbaya. Like, you can't do that stuff, but you can do other things, which we'll talk about. And lastly, if you'd like to listen to my other manifestation episodes, they're always around this time of year. So last year I talked about manifesting for empaths, and I just most recently actually did one about detachment with manifesting. So I do try to incorporate these things in the podcast because I find it very, very helpful, and I'm fascinated by it, and it works. As I sit here looking at my vision board and all my goals for this year and my mantras, and honestly, they all come true the more I stare at them on my wall. Okay, but this year, I wanted to talk about manifesting with angel numbers. So when I was working on the angel number book, wow, so many revelations were given to me. I had so many downloads, and the things I was doing and things I was seeing you all do started making a ton more sense. So because lots of times I realize we tap into angel speak without realizing it. You got to remember, I do tons of readings, and I've done so many readings. And so I love it because I get to see how things are interconnected spiritually. And one of the things I was noticing is, oh my gosh, people are already doing this. I just want to, I put it in the book, but I also wanted to put like this podcast to it to get even more into it, because you're probably already doing it. So when you do it, you can explore why and how and what you feel when you do it. So I'll get into it. So for example, when you send that screenshot to your friend with her favorite number, like, you screenshot 1111, text it to her, little sparkle emojis or something, you're doing it right there. Or let's say you wait to send that super important email out till 2:22 p.m. Okay. All that means something. You're actually trying to hit a vibe and let it carry you. So you're already probably doing a lot of stuff like this. This is my terrible metaphor that works for me, and hopefully it works for you. So when I was in school, I had to take a woodworking class, and if any of it, which was just not for me, but whatever. And I feel like anybody else who ever had to take a woodworking class was forced to make those like CO2 powered wooden toy cars and have like a race. And that was, I feel like, all we did in there. So anyways, so you'd make your little car out of wood, and you'd put on the wheels, and you'd drill a little hole in the back for the CO2 cartridge. And then when it was like racing day, you would stick the CO2 cartridge, and it like popped, and zoom, off it went. It was like an extra little boost, that CO2 cartridge. When you use your angel numbers in your manifesting practices, that's what it is. It's a little CO2 cartridge for your intention. It's just a little boost. Boop. You make your intention, you stick a little CO2 cartridge in it, boop. It gets just a little bit further along for you when you stick an angel number to it. So there are so many ways you can manifest with your angel numbers. First, you have to figure out your intention. And I've done a lot of episodes on these, and there's, so I don't want to too much repeat myself, but intentions are little wants you put out into the universe, and they have to be open-ended. They have to be within your own control, and they have to be very specific, though, at the same time, and always in your highest good. So something like, I am grateful for unconditional love in my life. That's instead of, I want a husband or something, or I'm not single anymore. They always have to be like positively stated and as if it's already happening too. Or it could be, I am financially free and comfortable, instead of, I'm going to stop spending money, or I don't want to be poor. Like, you have to kind of keep it like that. Or I am healthy and I love my body, instead of I'm going to lose 10 pounds. Okay. I am healthy and I love my body. That's how you got to put them out there. And when you put them out there, they need to be set free. It needs to be given away to the universe to do with what it must do. But to put that out there with an angel number is something I noticed makes it work a lot faster and stronger. So these are some things you can do. So find a number which speaks to you. You might already have a number. Okay. You might want to, like in my, my angel number book, I have lots of numbers. I have 1 to 999. You can pick one of those, which kind of aligns with whatever your intention is. Or maybe you want to pick a repeating number that you like a lot. So for example, just for the sake of this podcast episode, let's say you're looking for abundance in your life in some way, in love or finance or health or something. 888 is a great number to use, as it connects with that angel frequency of leaving space for more, because abundance is on the way. So 888, and I love those numbers, and I always see them on my birthday, which is on the 8th of April. So take your intention, and you can meditate for that set amount of time. So you put like 8 minutes and 88 seconds on your timer and meditate for that much. Or you can do something else, like, okay, I'm going to take that amount of time, I'm going to journal. Okay, something like that. Make a donation to a charity in that amount. A little $8.88 Venmo to whatever shelter or charity that you feel connected to today. You can start screenshotting that number every time you see it on your phone and save it. Make a little collage. Print out the collage, hang it up, okay? Celebrate when you see it out in the wilds, okay? Like take a little pic of that license plate or the billboard when you see it show up on a receipt or an email timestamp. Just say a little thank you to the universe, like, oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you've heard me and you're listening to my intention. You're taking care of it right now. And I really feel connected to that intention right now. Use it in your screen names, your usernames, if you're a gamer, in your handles, your Peloton name, maybe you're at spin class and they make you put in your name, Megan 111, like whatever it is, stick it in there, start using it, doodle it. You're on the phone, you're at a long meeting, you have to look like you're supposed to be taking notes or something. You just start doodling 888, whatever your number is, start doodling it. Make art with it. If you're creative, color it, spend time being creative with it. Set your timer for the amount of time you should be creative. All right, I'm going to draw for 8 minutes and 88 seconds. Purchase something in that amount if possible. Okay, instead of buying 7 rolls or 9 rolls, buy 8 rolls. I know it's silly, but like it's just kind of keeping it on the brain is the point. Put yourself to work for an amount of time which is congruent to your angel number. So for example, if you're wanting to be healthier, set your watch for 8 minutes and 88 seconds and you take that brisk walk. Until that timer goes off. Or you want a new job, set that amount of time, 8 minutes, 88 seconds on your timer, and work on your resume full out, no distractions. What's the point of this? What is the point of this? Okay, so every time you do something like this, you're envisioning your intention getting a boost in the universe, like that little CO2 cartridge. You're seeing it being lifted off to a place where it can fortify itself to return to you complete. But you know what's funny? You know what's funny about all this? And if you've had an intention realize itself to you, you already know what I'm talking about. When you get it, and this happens every time something realizes itself to you, and that is you've already had it, that at the point it happens, you can feel, oh my gosh, I'm already that. And you've already become it. How many times have I written down a goal for myself, and then like months later I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, that happened. That's crazy. But wow, that's awesome. But like, I didn't even know it happened, like it just kind of happened. It's like, wow. Or if I do realize that it happened, like all of a sudden something happens and I'm like, whoa, today's the day it happened. There's a peace within me, but I already felt okay about it. I already felt complete. Like you never need it to be complete because what happened is the day you made that intention and you set it out to the universe to take care of it for you, you were that. And every time you use one of these ways that I'm talking about with your angel numbers to connect to that intention, something's really important happening to you because that's the thing about manifesting. If you want it, you have to align to it. You have to become it. You have to fall in love with it. Using angel numbers in these ways are just little reminders for you to do that, to embody whatever it is you are wanting more of in your life. When you donate that angel number amount to a charity, in that moment, feel the intention of being whatever it is you asked for. Loved, financially stable, safe, calm, free, present moment, healthy, whatever it is. In that little moment, as you do whatever it is that you're doing, you bump into it. And you allow yourself to stay with it, to absorb into you. And the more you do this, the more you can see it, familiarize yourself with it, and it familiarizes itself to you. And by the time you notice that it happened or it came to fruition or there it is or you were handed it, wow, I already know it. I already know it. It's kind of like if you had a pen pal and you're like your internet, and nobody does pen pals anymore. If you had an online friend and, we connect all the time and we're always texting. And when you meet them, it's like, haven't I known you my whole life? Even though that's your first time meeting in person, you already feel like you've known them forever because you did. Because even though you weren't physically together, you spent energy and time together and space even together. And so when you finally see them in the flesh and you can give them an actual hug, it's like, I already know you. And that's what happens with your intention. You get to know it. You get to know it in these angel numbers, little activities. Even though it seems small, it's just a great way to bump into it often or share space and time and energy with that frequency so that by the time it's given to you, you're like, oh my gosh, I already know you, I already have you. Also, when you do things like that, when you start to know what you get familiar with their intention or you spend time and energy understanding it and aligning to it, you do become it. The more you spend time with something, the more you absorb into that something. So I hope this helps. I really want to hear I feel like you guys probably have 100 more ideas about angel numbers and how to use them to manifest, which I really am looking forward to hearing your conversations about. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. So ever since, reading your book and listening to that speech, I've been trying to manifest more with the angel numbers, and I've been trying to bring them into my life more and see them more. So actually, I changed all my passwords on all my accounts, my bank account, my credit cards. And I just did 111555.
Whoa.
So now every time, I go out to my Wells Fargo or I go out to my Ameritrade, 111555. That's my password.
Yeah, what's your screen handle?
I'll just use my email.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Maybe I should have done that. But all right. So we asked the Mystic Michaela spiritual family, how do you make magic happen in your life with angel numbers? We want to know your manifesting stories with these angel numbers, and take it away.
Yeah, so Danielle writes, I have learned from you that 11 or 111 and 1111 are like taking a snapshot of your thoughts. So when I do notice those times, and it's pretty much daily, I speak my truth in that moment to the universe. It sometimes is a short phrase or a thank you of gratitude. I will also say things I want to happen as if they've already happened out loud in these moments. That's cool.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, like you see 1111 and you're like, I am grateful for my financial abundance. Using that time as like that little boost.
Okay.
That's really cool.
That's a really good one.
Angie writes, we celebrate birthdays 2 times per day in our house. There are 5 of us. When we see our birthdays on the clock, we take a screenshot and make a wish. My kids are all in. It's important to believe in something bigger than yourself.
Love that.
I love that.
Except for the birthday part.
Yeah, you wouldn't like that because you don't like your birthday.
Yeah.
But they're celebrating themselves.
Right.
And their place in the universe and how special they are. And I think that that's really important.
It is.
Laurel writes, when the COVID lockdown/quarantine first started and the world felt chaotic and unknown, we all set our alarms for 11:11 every day to stop with our kids and do a 5-minute meditation together. We loved having those moments at that time to focus on all that was going right and send out love to the universe. Wow. That's super cool. Like using that time as a togetherness and a looking ahead and looking at the bright side and feeling gratitude for what they have. That's a great way to manifest. Mandy writes, while driving my 30-minute commute to and from work every day, I enjoy talking to my guides, asking questions. I ask them to show me signs and license plates, and I'm never disappointed. I always get angel numbers as a confirmation. Sometimes I'll get numbers in a progression, like 1, 2, 3, 4, to say I'm on the right path. Many times I'll see 579, which was my grandfather's address. He recently passed, and I know he's near. You could talk to the universe.
Yeah.
And they have a sense of humor. And they will talk back to you.
All right. That's great.
This one's a funny one.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, all right, before let me just ask this question here.
Yeah.
And I always play devil's advocate on this podcast.
Oh,
I am
yes.
the red skeptic. Let's say, and it's a new year, and sometimes this could be a tough time for people, or sometimes it could be a very optimistic time. What if you're doing all these things? What if you did your vision board last year, and you've been seeing these numbers?
Are you talking about yourself?
Sure.
But go ahead.
Or for anyone out there that's really having trouble. I got a lot of praise because I told people when I meditate I can't see anything.
It's true.
And a lot of people, I guess, they just didn't want to admit that either.
Oh yeah.
And they finally, people came out, of the meditating closet or whatever you want to call that, and say, I don't see anything either.
Me neither, Scott.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott.
I just fall asleep.
Yeah, and that's what happens to me. Now, I like meditating and all because it relaxes me, and I am able to clear my mind, which I can do quite often. But that's another story. But I don't see the things like you do or other people that follow this podcast do. So here again, it's the same thing. A lot of people, they see the numbers, they feel that sensation, whatever. They get that message from the universe. They really believe it. They get something out of it. They do their vision boards. They see it all come true.
Yeah.
And then you're looking online, right? Now you're scrolling through your Instagram and you say, oh, look at that person. Everything on their vision board came true. And look at me.
Yeah.
I'm in the same place I was a year ago. Or 2 years ago, whatever. That's not me, by the way. I'm just kidding. But what would you say to these people? Is there anything we can say to these people?
Yeah, well, first
to
of all,
maybe help them, or maybe it doesn't work for everyone. I don't know.
Oh, well, first of all, and it's not my quote, somebody else says, and I forget who said it, but comparison is the thief of joy. And in this day and age, we have so much. I mean, it's too much opportunities for comparison because of social media. It's really awful. So you got to remember that. That's the first thing. Second of all, it's probably working for, there's a couple things. Okay, well, this is the whole thing. And you can probably listen to the other manifesting episodes we've done over the years, and this will clear up a lot of that too. And I don't know why you didn't listen to those before that.
I did.
No, but like what it is what you think you want, versus what you should want, based on like who you are and stuff. Sometimes they take time to align. So if you can envision yourself like 10 years ago, like what were my goals 10 years ago? And then you might laugh about them, like honestly. Like if you look at like what your goals were and like thank God certain things don't happen, or thank God they happen differently, or wow, that jagged road led me to the perfect spot. It's not always the way you envision it happening. And sometimes with our visualizations or the things we think we want, looking back in my own life, I'm like, man, the things I wanted that didn't come true yet, I wasn't ready yet at that time. Like I really wasn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes when something happens, I think, wow, I wasn't ready at the time for that to happen either. So you have to kind of trust that timing and that you got to give that up to the universe a bit. Like timing is important and you can be ready as it goes on further and further. And you have to trust that what's given to you have to make the best of it. Bottom line, if it's not working for you and you're looking at your stuff from last year and it didn't come to fruition, time to go back to the drawing board. Time to go back to the drawing board and just reset some intentions that are open-ended yet in your highest good.
Okay.
I mean, and yes, does it sound kind of made up or cliche? Yes, I'm with you. I'm very grounded. I understand that. I know some people can be like, oh, it's such nonsense or BS or whatever. If it makes you feel good, it is good.
Okay. All right, look, hey, you can be with Team Scotty over here and know that it doesn't always work for me either, and that's okay.
But sometimes with you, let's talk about you, you tend to see the negatives of things and put more emphasis on that than look at like the jewels that did come, and maybe focusing on the things that did happen more, because what you focus on grows.
Right. Focus
on the stuff that did happen, because you are the type of person that's like, well, I'll say, oh, look, this happened. And you're like, yeah, but this didn't happen yet. And it's like, that's kind of like a downer.
Yeah.
Too.
You're right. No, I do that. And in my vision board that I created, I now have it on there that I want to be cast in The Witcher season 3. Oh. So I want to be like one of the people.
Are you one of the monsters or?
No, I want to be like one of the people that The Witcher saves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
All right, read that last funny one and then we'll close it up.
Okay, this one was so funny. I couldn't skip this over at all.
All right.
Cassandra writes, this is so funny. My 1-year anniversary was on Monday, and I keep seeing individual 6s followed by 9s, and a lot of 69s that day. What could that mean? And then she does like funny emoji faces. But for real, I had a baby 3 months ago and things have been pretty slow going in the romance department. I'm definitely getting the hint that it's time to heat things up again. And it's nice to know that my spirit guides are looking out for not only me, but my husband, Joe.
Okay, well, that is a great one to end it on.
Love that. They have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And that stuff comes up in readings.
Right.
Chemistry, the bedroom.
Well, what was her name again?
Cassandra.
All right, Cassandra, let me end this episode and help you out here. Jumanji, get to it. All right.
Thank you all. This podcast is for you and about you, and you all take care.
If you want to be the most interesting person at the cocktail party, well, hop on over and listen to the Brain Candy podcast.
Our award-winning content will have you laughing while you're learning.
We read all the best articles, books, and studies and keep up with new TV shows, documentaries, and pop culture. And then we cram it all into 2 shows a week.
Conspiracy theories, cannibal rabbits, unsolved mysteries, the history of the Walkman. There's something for everyone.
The Brain Candy podcast. Find our link in the show notes.
Or simply search for the Brain Candy podcast on your podcast app.